All right. Hello. Hello, future people and maybe current people. I am going to be streaming again on the terminal UI stuff. So I'm just going to get right to it because streaming is strange, especially when, yeah, I do not yet. I'm not I'm not the prime agent, as they say. So there might be no one here for a while, and I'm not even looking. Feel free to chat if you have any questions, though, and hopefully some people show up like the last few times. And that was a nice, lively time. Otherwise, I'm just sort of self-documenting for, future generations who are curious about building terminal UI libraries and why we ever engaged in such futile behaviors. So I will show the current state of something. This to-do app. Hello. Good. I can check things off. I've, since last time, what do I have? A couple of things. An alternate screen. It no longer takes up this terminal, or it optionally can actually. So I have an argument here. True is use full screen. And that's actually, I'm in the wrong thing. That's why it didn't do it here. I'm not in the to-do file. Or maybe I am. Why did it take up the full screen? I must be doing something wrong. Execute false? I would have thought. Well, certainly the opposite will do the other way. No. Oh, I must be screwing something up. So yeah, this takes up the full screen. Anyway, I'll just work in full screen mode today, I suppose. So I have that. If I go to my rendering code here, I have an input view. I have some shortcut text for all the key commands, and then I render a list of to-dos. I'm going to get, and I did a couple things. I no longer need a text node. Text just works as a view itself, but also I don't want that up there because border now has a title parameter. So I can say to-dos, and this should say to-dos up there, which it does. And I probably want to add some spacing to either side of that. And there it looks a little more professional. So yeah, the colors are looking nice and juicy. Going to quit that. And I may as well figure out what I've ruined since last time. So why is this? This thing needs to use full screen. Use alternate screen. Use full screen. Use full screen. And there we go. So now if I run this, it should just exist at the bottom and grow as I add new to-dos. And when I quit, it will collapse into that final message. Probably also wanted to, maybe I can have it scroll back up, but I'm not sure if that'll look good or work correctly. So yeah, anyway, for today, I want to add a few more things. Particularly, I think I made a README. So I want to have a frame view, which would be a way of specifying the size of particular views. It's kind of awkward in that I can't make this. Also, I would like to be able to grow to the full width of the available space, take up the entire screen. And that's all going to be handled, I believe, by a frame view, I think. So I'm gonna take a look at that. A Z-stack view would be interesting as well, where I can have a view that renders atop another view, like a pop-up window or a modal or something like that for certain contexts or cases. And then I'd like to also be able to align stack views. So if I wanted these vertically stacked elements, instead of being left aligned, to sort of be center aligned for some reason, that would also be nice. And that's all going to involve similar bits of code. So I'm going to start by going to the view mod and saying pubmod frame. And if I do this, I get an autocomplete to create a frame file. And then I'm also going to preemptively say pub use frame and just import everything. I'm not sure if this is a good practice, but it's convenient. Then I'll go into here, and now I can make myself a struct frame, which will take some inner view. So there'll be some child view. And then, yeah, I'll need to pick some settings here. So min width, min height, max width, and max height. Except I probably would like to have some other options. For instance, well, no, this might be fine. These might actually all be optional. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think these all need to be optional. Option. Because maybe they don't care. So that'll be interesting. And then I need to implement the view where v is a view for frame, which means we need to know how to. Oh, something is being screwed up here. Oh, yeah, view is not imported, so I have to import that. And I think something else is wrong. Impl. Oh, view for frame. There we go. And now I can implement the missing members. Cool. Which means the trait bound view frame is not satisfied. Shoot. I forget what I did here. I'm going to look at another view, like the text view. Private sealed for text. Oh yes, this thing needs to be sealed. There's some crazy little pattern here where private sealed. Nope, not that. Private sealed for frame. And then where v is view. And that makes it so other people can't create their own views, which I'm not sure if I want to do, but I was just trying to learn some crazy Rust patterns. And apparently that's one that helps the compiler know that no one else is going to, you're not going to have any orphan or instances of this trait that you did not specifically declare due to having this private sealed thing be a requirement of view, which I kind of think is annoying now and I want to get rid of, but I don't feel like changing all those files. Okay, so now we've got to figure out how this should work. And basically, I think, I'm going to think through it. First, we need to get the size of our child, that's for sure. So child size, that should be easy. And then we need to make sure that that child size, well, if we have a min height or a min width or a max width or a max height, is constrained by that. So let's see what this does. That's a lot of stuff. Why is this sad? U16. Oh, these are all going to be U16s, actually. Because we're dealing with a terminal, we don't need very large numbers. So 2 to the 16th possibilities of whatever, 65,000 things is more than enough for our purposes. So, yippee. This is quite ugly. I wish it didn't fill in all of these types all the time. I guess it is useful, but it makes it kind of hard to read. Can I hide those completions? I'm sure there's a setting somewhere, but destructure struct binding. No, I don't need to do that. Well, actually, I could. That's perfect. Let's go with width and height. Sure. Oh, but no. Okay, I'll stick with the child size. So if we have a min width, we're going to say map or child width. Map or. So I think what this is going to do is either going to, what does map or do? Returns the provided default result, if none, or applies the function to the contained value. Ah, so this is going to be the I see, the default or map. Cool. So yeah, that method surprisingly doesn't exist in Scala exactly, but it's kind of like a map and then a get or else, just combined into one. So map or else. Sure, makes sense. So yeah, if the child, if the min width doesn't exist, cool. But I also need to do this with the max height as well. So also constrain with max values. So how crazy is this going to get? Just a couple of... Oh, you won. I don't think this is correct. So are we using... Oh no, okay, that makes sense. Oh, these are all U. Something terrible happened that made those all U1s, which is not a size of a number, thankfully. Okay, I guess that would just be a bit. Anyway. So yeah, let me see if this works for now by writing some tests, quote unquote. So write some tests for the size method. Use a simple text view as the child. Not quite. So I'll use, let me just import everything. Oh, text. Oh, the text helper. Duh. Forgot my own API. Okay, let's see what has happened and what makes sense or not. So this should be 5 characters. And then if we have a frame where we're saying the min height is 5 and the min width is 10, well then sure, yeah, it should be 5 and 10. It's definitely going to be pretty annoying to use this type though without default arguments in Rust. I wonder how some other libraries handle this. Because I'd like to be able to say, of course, frame and then sort of just specify certain values, but this is going to force me to specify everything, which I guess is okay. I mean, it's terrible, but I'm going to go to View Extensions and define a FN frame, which will take self and, yeah, all those options, which is just terrible. I hate it. And I probably didn't make frame public. So now it is. And why is this sad? Oh, because those are all private fields. So I need to do pub crate for all these fellas. Perfect. Okay, so now I have a slightly worse or differently bad method. And so, ooh, now it's even harder to read because it all went out. So yeah, this makes sense to me. If we specify a min width and height, it should be larger. Ooh. And actually, it should also never be larger than the proposed size. So that's fun. And let me import size so you don't have to do that. Cool, that looks a little better. And then I think I have min proposed. So this test should fail now because it should be 0, 0. And I also want to use pretty assertions to make sure that I can actually read this and it doesn't look all like gray. Can't believe that's the default, but whatever. Run again. Oh, no, pretty assertions assert eq. I guess I have to specify that. And now they're okay, 0, 10, yeah. So the width is no bueno. Maybe I could just do this all in one. What'll that output look like? That looks a little better. So yeah, it's 0, 0. So yeah, we need to at least, let's do size. I'll just give it all the room it needs, actually. And there we go. Okay, now it is indeed the smallest size. Let's rewrite this one. And I guess this should be called frame. Should be called frame as well. Oh no, farm. Frame. No, farm. Frame. And what has happened here? So the max width is 5 and 1. But that, okay, and that is smaller than this. So yeah, this should get truncated. And it got truncated, yay. So that's cool. And then test frame size within constraints. And what has happened here? So let me also make this into this thing. Oh yeah, because that should, we should propose everything. And okay, that's correct because it's within the constraints. So yes, yay. So that's not terribly interesting in and of itself, having a frame. I mean, it's, and I'm sure I could add more tests to this or have the AI come up with more tests. Yeah, what would be some other ones? Add some more interesting edge cases. Size with no constraints, for sure, that makes sense. These don't seem very useful. Oh dear, it's going crazy. It's doing all of the things. Let's see if they all pass. No, they didn't all pass. Proposed size larger than constraints. Proposed size smaller than constraints. Should indeed limit it. Should not exceed the proposed size. And yeah, oh, this makes, actually, this one's interesting. It got a height of 2, but it expected a height of 1, or vice versa. It got a height of 1. Why would it get a height of 1? Well, because of course, that's a max height. So that's fine. I'm not sure if these tests are good, but hey, the more tests, the better. No, it's probably terrible. I should delete all the ones I don't care about or don't understand. So yeah, too many AI tests. Fine. I'll just keep them for now. Okay. And then we need to render it. And to render it, we can get the size, then render the context with that size. Rect.size. And that's a great method that I should add to the context. And that makes sense. So yeah, let's do that. Let's have a with size method. Rect new self rect dot point point is self.rect.point, and size is the new size, which can be punned there. So that's nice, creating a little copy of ourselves with just a new size. I don't know if that's useful. And hopefully that renders correctly. That's going to be possible to test. Assert size, assert view. I forget where I had these tests. I think I had them in padding. No, in border. So in border, I'm using the assert rendered view. So then I can make a copy of this, implement a couple of render tests. Do. Well, that looks just crazy. I don't know what it's done. Yeah, what I really want to do is not all this crazy stuff, but I want to say like the max width is if I have some text that is hello world, which is 11 characters long, and I just make it max width of 5. Let's just do that. Then I would expect the output to be hello world. And these will be spaces because they'll still exist in the screen size that I'm going to offer it. Buffer width will still be, sure, 11 by 1. So let me see if that works. Does not, because it has all this extra, oops. Buffer height should be 1. And the buffer width should be, well, oops. I think I'm editing the wrong thing. No, I'm not editing the wrong thing. This should be hello world as well. And then that's 11 characters selected. That is what the buffer width should be. Okay. And it passes. Okay, great. So yes, it truncates the rendered text, which is fine. But the more interesting stuff, I mean, there's a few things. I guess one would be actually, oh yeah, some kind of alignment, actually. And I think also if there is a max width, I want it to take up all of this space. Is that correct? I think that's how SwiftUI does it. So actually, if this is bigger, I would like it to grow as much as it can. In Swift, they have an infinity value, but I don't feel like adding that here. So maybe I could just use the maximum value or just any size. Should it take up that amount? Huh. I should probably double check Swift semantics. Yeah, with SwiftUI, how would you... Yeah, how is the frame modifier center of view? You can set an explicit size. Yeah, I've got to think about that. Yeah, it seems like just the infinity modifier takes up the maximum amount of space. Yeah, that's kind of weird of SwiftUI to do to have max with have the frame view eat up all relevant space. I don't like that. But I could do that. I could say if the max width is if it's literally max, I could treat that as infinity, which would be so stupid. But that is what the silly Swift semantics are, which is kind of what I'm copying here. I'll need to think about this in the future, but yeah. Huh. Yeah, I guess it will take up all available space if let mute. So yeah, let me say if max width is U16 max, then take up all of then return the proposed width. Same for height. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I wonder if it means pretty horrifying logic that I've just written here. Um, can you refactor this, please? I love coding. Oh, well, sure. That'll actually, that's a good idea because those are the same exact calculations. Except for the self bit. I don't think I need to use self if it's a helper method like this. Proposed child. Perfect. Hey, not bad. Good refactoring AI. Pretty weird. So now I can get rid of some of the. I'm going to get rid of. Oh my god! It made 1,000 and made so many tests that I don't even know what they are. I'll stop at no constraints because that one kind of makes sense to me. Test fn test frame max width takes up entire proposed width. So if I say the maxed width is sum u16 max, which is crazy API, what have I done this? Oh, max. No, what is it? It's a function. No, it's not. How do I get the max? There we go. Okay. And therefore, that should be equal to 20 and 1. Shouldn't change the height. The height just needs to be 1. And that will pass. Okay, good. Let me make sure I haven't broken these other tests, which I determined to be acceptable. Okay, they are acceptable. And same with the height. Well, no, this should still be the size of the text, which is 5, and the height should be 5 as well, or make it 8 so it's visually different. Perfect. Okay, and by the way, if there is anyone, I see a couple of numbers of watching people, which is a very low number, but it is more than 0. So if you have any questions or would like me to talk about anything in particular, yeah, just throw it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll keep doing this ASMR narration exercise. Sort of thinking out loud as I write embarrassing code for anyone to see. Just throwing blackmail into the void. Unprompted. Okay, what do I need to do now? Oh, yes. So the next important thing about frames is that you can use them to center things. So I need some kind of alignment. And so I'm going to make an enum horizontal alignment. Left, center, right. That's fine with me. And then enum vertical alignment, top, center, bottom. And then also a struct called just alignment, which would be one of each. And then this could have some helpers for, maybe we can do consts. Can I do consts? I guess I can't have a const in here, right? I'm not really sure how const works. Define. No, I don't think that makes any sense. These probably already are that. What am I doing? This would just be an fn top left, for instance. Top right, top. Well, that would just be top then. These should all be public. Can I make consts for these? I don't know if that makes sense. Oh, I can. Is that better? I'm guessing that would be more efficient. Sure, I do like that. Pub. All right. Let's go for it. Okay, cool. Very happy. Keep going. Beautiful. Isn't AI wonderful for boilerplate? And for answering questions. Are my days numbered here? I don't know. But it's useful. While it's useful, while it's helping me and not the other way around, I'll be merry. Okay, so we have those alignments. Now I can throw an alignment into this, which will break something. Yes, this will need an alignment, which I will need to import. No, I'm not exporting it. These should all be pub. Cool. And then these all need some alignment. And these, yeah, so this function call is just terribly awful, and I'll need to come up with some kind of helper. But let's see. Test max width equals U16 max, and alignment should position the text in the available space appropriately. Come on, thing. All right. Did it get that right? It did. 20. So the proposed size is 20. We do that. 21, sure. And then we give it the right buffer size. Perfect. And then indeed, hello should be in the middle. And because it's an odd number of characters, it should all work out. Okay. This will fail because I have not incorporated alignment into the rendering logic, which is fine. The only question is how to do that. So if I'll need to change, so I can change the size. So I have the, where's the child size? Shoot. Yeah, it's a bit redundant. Or it's not the most performant thing, because I'm going to be recalculating all these things. I think SwiftUI uses a cache, so it won't calculate the same size multiple times per run. But I could store, I guess, a cache on the rendering context, but I think with the terminal UI, I can get away with this. Hopefully. We'll see. If there are performance issues, I'll be accountable. I mean, this will call size on every child recursively. So there might be a bunch of that, especially if I keep probing it a number of times. So this is going to, what is it going to need to do? It needs to get its child size. So we're going to have some available space. And, basically, I only need to worry about the alignment if I do the max option for either min or, sorry, either height or width, I think. And in that case, left, center, right, I'll need to figure out one, determine child size, determine, well, proposed width, child width, proposed width, and then I can basically offset. If it's center, I have to figure out basically this number. So the width offset x for child is equal to the width child width minus, nope, that's not it. divided by 2 plus proposed width divided by 2, or is it proposed width divided by 2 minus child width divided by 2? So something like that, I think. Let's offset x, let child size. Oh, no. Yeah, it needs to be the context rect size. Was this still working or did something explode? I got some kind of notification, but I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like I'm still here. Okay, brilliant. So I need to match on the horizontal alignment, but I don't need to do this no matter what, only if the self dot max width is equal to some, then we're going to do all this business. Else it's just going to be context dot rect dot left. And I've done something wrong here, horribly wrong. Oh, because of our ifs expressions here, it would appear not to be the case. But I'm sure they are. They have to be. It's Rust. It's not JavaScript. For crying out loud. So that'll be the new x. And I think that kind of makes sense. I'm not entirely sure. Let's do this with offset. Or I guess if I'm doing offset, yeah, and I can just have a number. So let's generate the offset method. No, rect.point. Well, I should have this say rect self.rect.offset. There we go. I'll keep making helper methods that all do the same thing. And indeed, point should have a pub fun offset. And that should use this here. I'm just starting Rust for fun. How's it going tomorrow? Yeah, just to have a good time learning a new language, see what's out there. My job is Scala mostly, or entirely. So I do some other languages on the side, like Swift. I have a bunch of videos on my channel for SwiftUI and Swift stuff, and Rust is purely just for learning a slightly lower level language. And I don't know, I'm pretty impressed so far. I do enjoy it. Though I've lost my position. Where am I? In frame. So offset exists now. So yeah, and I'm building this terminal UI library to kind of, it's something I've done before in Scala, and I like SwiftUI and Swift, and so I'm trying to copy the API and see how Rust can express these DSL libraries for doing things. And it's okay. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's not, it's passable. I don't like all of this ghost text everywhere. Maybe it's just the wrong color. It's too bright or something. But besides that, it's pretty nice. And I actually don't need the text wrapper anymore. I don't think, or maybe I do. Oh, something about the lifetime. Okay, sorry. Oh, I think I have to clone that. Okay, I'm undoing that. bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rust. See, that kind of stuff, not great to deal with if you're building something very high level. But Scala does not have the best native story, to use that annoying turn of phrase, so it doesn't really compile to native code very well. You kind of have to spin up a whole JVM, which is pretty heavy, and it's not the best language for CLI tools, unfortunately, because of that delay there. It's great for networked applications, backends you keep around for a long time, but for like edge functions or other things, it's short-lived things or really, I don't know, low-level things. Trying to explore this world. So let me see if my test works. Test-driven development. Failed. Oh, but pretty close. How many characters is that? 7? 8. Oh, okay. You know what? I think that's fine. I just made a different decision than I did. It rounded up, not down. Let me do hello bang and make sure that is perfectly centered here. Oh, I need one more space. Rust, I guess I started this project last Tuesday, so about a week. Though I've previously like read, you know, some blog posts and skimmed some stuff about a year ago. But this is my first time really using it in anger, and so the conceit is I get to use as much AI as I want. So as you've seen me select things and tell it to do things, it's been great to learn. That's basically been how I've been learning. I haven't consulted the book too much. I just had the AI dump out some code, and then I'm like, okay, what the hell's that? And I've also been reading some stuff this week. Like there's this book on Rust Atomics by Mara Bose, which was interesting, and there's a whole bunch of nice documentation that Rust has. There's like a Rust book and an async Rust book. So there's just a ton of really good documentation, which coming from Scala, a language that I love the usability of, but like everything else, Rust is really just shining in lots of other ways. I love these inline tests that just live in the file, co-located, really easy to spin up. The tooling is great. Cargo, adding stuff, running stuff. You can have separate like examples directories, and it knows what that means. And there's a special command for running an example. Just really nice. And you know, there's autocomplete, so it knows. I think there's autocomplete. Oh no, if I do that, it'll tell me the different examples. So it's pretty fun. What's your language of choice? Oh, did the test pass? Oh, I think it did. So yay. Test right alignment. Do. Let's see. I mean, it could have gotten the size wrong. Oop, did not compile 6 warnings omitted. What have I done? How did I break something? Oh. Yeah, I've got to pick. Oh, it's center right. No, I just want this to be left or right. Why is that sad? Oh, because it's not all caps. Left. All right, it passed. Cool. Sweet. So now I should probably test vertical alignment and also handle vertical alignment. That should be pretty straightforward. And then I wonder if I can factor out the duplication, but actually, probably not. Oh, nice. Yeah, work is always a distraction. How dare. They demand our hours. But yeah, it's super fun to do this at night in the evenings. It's been a while since I've learned a new language. And there's so many these days. Mojo coming out. This new language called Bend runs on GPUs. Everybody's going crazy with the GPUs. All right, so now I'm going to not do anything except write a test for both vertical and horizontal alignments. Have the word wow in a, let's say, 7x7 box. Oh no. Did too many. Okay. Also, I don't like when this happens, but luckily the AI is pretty good at figuring that out. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, center aligned should be right in the middle, and it did not work. Oh, that's because of the sizing. That's actually interesting. Why would that have happened? Oh no, because no, I do not want max width. I want this needs to be this awful interface of U16 max for this to work, which is really stupid. Don't know what that means. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? What is that? That I don't see. There's no difference there. Is there a diff? That's pretty funny. Oh, there's this other. These are both in the same test. Maybe the problem is with the second one. No. Wow. What does that mean? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What's the... There's no diff. That's a bad diff. It looks okay. What if I throw a border on this? Hey, that looks pretty cool. I should do all the tests with borders. And I should do 9 by 9. Yeah, let's try that out. Make 9 by 7 and have a border. No, wrong border. Make a fancy single Unicode border. Come on, Unicode border. Yeah. So, okay. All right, there is a problem now. We see that there's definitely an issue. The width is 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the border actually should add a space there, so it should be right there. But instead, it is not large enough. And I feel like there's something wrong. Is it with the sizing? But then no, the size of the view seems to be correct. But oops. Hello, LB. Welcome back. I'm working on a horizontal and vertical alignment. And horizontal alignment seems to work just great. But something awful has happened when I've done both of them. Let me actually go back to this one and add a border. Maybe because that could have screwed up something with borders still. Hopefully not. I thought I solved all those problems. And then give this a height of 3. And then I want to add a fancy Unicode border. Yeah. And then, of course, let me count how many characters this is. Well, that's actually a little crazy. Let's make this only 10. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should look something like that. I'm not going to assert on the size. Is this 10 characters? That's 11. Okay. 1, 1, 1. We go to wow. So we really get a sense of wow. Okay, so hopefully this works. That worked. So that's weird. That would work, but this would not. Border. Add Unicode border. And maybe I'll make it 9 as well. How wide is that? 9, perfect. So that's what we should get here. But we get instead, well, the wrong size. Okay, that was my fault. Yeah, whoa. I feel like something is really weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, well, the height is wrong. So maybe that's my problem. Maybe I just had the wrong values in here. That could be it. That's probably it, honestly. Yep, I think that was it. So 9 by 5. 1, 2, 3. 3, 4. And then 5. Well, oops, I'm going to delete these two. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was probably it. Yay, okay, it was it. It's all working. I was just giving the wrong constraints. So let me run all the tests and make sure I don't break anything, even though I don't think I would have because I was just changing tests. So hopefully just changing tests doesn't break code. And now that we have some nice code, we select it and say, please refactor. I don't think that's possible because, I mean, we'll see what it does. No, because I only want to do this if it ignored what I requested. Such a TUI. such TUI. My Doge speak that was improper grammar in that way. Yeah, I could probably use pattern matching or something to make this nicer, but I could also, if I wanted to, not have a separate horizontal and vertical alignment and just have like a start, middle, end, and just have those things, but whatever. A little duplication. Never killed anyone. Though it makes me sad how verbose it is. But that's okay. I feel like these are definitely weird semantics. But now I can go back to the to-do application and run it. And hello. And theoretically, I should be able to go up to the app. Oops. And make it actually take up like that. Well, let me go full screen mode, actually. So true full screen. Now it's up to full screen, but it doesn't actually take up the full screen. So that's sad. And so I should go to the view part of this code, render. And before I do border, I should be able to say none, none, some, U16 max, and then alignment center. Or no, alignment top left, I guess. We'll see what that does. Yay! Hello. Cool. And then even further, I can do... So I have the to-dos. Maybe I can make the... I should be able to actually just move this, I think. I don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah. Sort of. Oh, okay. Actually, not quite, because this is where now there are other consequences of this change. Where... Cool, let me... So yeah, it works nicely here. But the reason why it doesn't work in the other case is because it basically will not work if it's in a... Why does this happen to my terminal? Is this something that I've done? I get this crazy, cool, super ultra-wide tracking font bug. It's pretty psychedelic. When I did my coding bootcamp forever ago now, 2016, 8 years ago, somebody in my bootcamp, bless their hearts, used a variable width script font for their text, completely non-ironically. So their editor and their terminal were using, it wasn't Comic Sans exactly. It was even less legible than Common. It was more legible than Comic Sans, and it was just really distressing. They're super smart too, but I don't know, a little older, and I guess they weren't in it with the cool fonts or monospace. But shame. Well, cool. So yes, it works here if I have the frame around the VStack, but it won't work in the VStack because of how the VStack sizing works. And this is something that I need to address, which is, and it's already so awfully complicated, sort of. It's not that bad. It's just that there's a lot of duplication because it's difficult to refactor in this particular abstract the similarities. I cannot dry up this code very nicely. I probably could do, I have to do something. I'll have to think about that. How can I make this less awful? But in here, what I also need to do, beyond just going through each child and offering them the full size, I don't want to offer them the full size because I cannot offer each child the remaining size because some might be very greedy. And what SwiftUI does is I first must sort by flexibility. So I need to sort of order the views by which are the most flexible. And so in this case, if I threw this growing frame onto our to-dos, it would be very flexible. Like it will take up all the space you feed it. So it'll basically block out everybody else. If I throw this on to-dos, now we don't see the input or the controls. They're down there. The key bindings are still working. I can still type something, but it's not going to show up. It's pushed off the screen. So I need to figure out another way of doing this. And I guess I should do that now, because it's not fun. And I wonder if I can also refactor this, because it's going to be almost identical. Let me think through that first. Can I refactor this code in a nice way? The challenge is, I need both the width, I need these two accumulators, but depending on the direction, I need to accumulate them differently. So I need to basically, if I'm laying out views horizontally, the total width is going to be the sum of the widths, and it's going to be the sort of the max of the heights. If this were, Haskell, I could do something fancy with monoids and compose some monoid instance or something, probably. But, and maybe I could do that here too. but I don't know if that'll be worth it, or what that would even look like. Because I need to propose a different value as well. So it's super annoying to factor over because it's constructing these sort of stable identifiers. Meh. So I'm just going to keep the duplication for now and just fix it. Which one do I need to fix it with? So I guess the horizontal one, these are basically going to have to be identical. So let's fix it with vertical text first so that we can see the buttons. The goal would be, once I fix this, we'll see the buttons. And I should probably write some tests as well. But first, let me see if I can hack this together in just a few minutes. And this is going to be some new Rust because I haven't done, I don't exactly know what to ask for. But I need an array, or a vec, I guess, or sized array. So let's say create an empty array with the number of children, with enough room, whatever. Hopefully it figures that out. So yeah, I could do a vec, and there is no length on this thing, this view tuple trait. It only has for each, but I'm going to make a size. Oh no, I should say length, I guess. Not length. Hmm. Length. Will that work? Unexpected token. Oh, I need to do that? Is that okay? Or do I need to do this whole... I'm not entirely sure. And then can I just come down here and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I have too many of these. Oh no. Oh, because these all need to be semicolons, right? Yes. To match my silly pattern. Do. Is that okay? Oh, and then 14. All right. Oops. And hopefully I can have a length operation for each of these. Huh, that's interesting how I can just have one for any view as well. I'm surprised that works and isn't a conflicting instance, but okay, cool. So now there's a length method. Not len, but length. Cool. Type annotations needed for vec. Oh yes, I need to give this a vec. So what do I want to put in here? I want to Actually, yeah, I gotta first think of this algorithm. I know I think I need the length of the children, but maybe I don't. I guess I need to accumulate all the children, but I wonder if that'll be safe as well. I guess in this case, I do need the sizes. I could size them first. But I also need to know, I guess, their flexibility. Hmm. I've solved this before. I'm going to consult my other code, which is cheating, but I I don't care. Um, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Interesting. Okay. I've written this way better before. Um, so sorry for cheating here, but I'm going to, yeah, I made a helper method. That's pretty useful actually, because I can use the same logic in both the size and the render, because there's already some duplication here actually, and I just dealt with that. But I've previously refactored this, and so I should probably do the same thing, and we'll see if I can do this correctly. Okay. So I'm going to, I wish you could make helper methods inside of an implementation for a trait, but you cannot. So I'm going to have to do this elsewhere and just do it for viewtuple for a stack. And then what I want to do is I want to get basically the sizes for width or whatever. So layout horizontal. Okay. And then let's see. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Okay. Or it's very interesting. It's a real soup to nuts algorithm. Um, so I do want eventually some sizes. I would rather make this an array, or I guess a vec is an array. Oh, oh, but I'd have to. Okay, if it's an array, I have to literally know the size. So I guess I'm gonna have to have it be a vec. And this will be a vec of size, indeed. Oh, it knows that. It infers it based on where I'm using it. Perfect. But then I need to have the views with their flexibility. And I can say self dot, what is it, children. And this is where it would actually be great to have an iterable of the children. And I probably could add that, but for now, whatever. I'm going to do this terribly and just have sort of an index equals 0, because I really just want to be able to call enumerate. So each child index plus equal 1. We're going to do that at the end. And then I need to get the lower bound of the size. So let's say view or child dot size. And I'm not going to give it the proposed size. I'm going to make a new size where width is going to be 0. And then I'm going to take the proposed, or this should take out proposed size. I'm not sure if yeah, proposed height. So we're going to find the lower bound, and then the upper bound. And really, I only care. Oh, I need semicolons, semicolons. I hate semicolons. That's why this is angry as well. And I only care about the width in this case. No, width. Put that in the wrong place. Okay. Oh, and of course, this is a for each, not a map. So I really would like an iterator for these things. That is the nicer API. I wonder how I can get one. FN iter. Uh, now this needs to be an iterator of dyn views. Ooh, does it need to be that? I guess. Uh, is this my only option? Please, no. I don't like that at all. Eh. No, I don't think I can have an impl though. Can I? Impl? Oh, maybe I can. Okay. Expected iterator that yields, but yields bang bang. Okay. I'm sure there's, why would that be the case? I don't know. Fix this. Whoa. So what is this now? Consider removing the leading at reference. Iter map view. What is the deal with this? I don't fully understand. I guess I'm going to inline one of these and see what the heck it does. V1 as dyn view, V2 as dyn view, V3 as dyn view. Expected reference V1. Yeah, I think this needs to be something very different. Should be like a vec? No. The problem is something I don't understand. When it comes to this crazy lifetime stuff, really? I don't know. No, that's still not right. Try again. There we go. That looks way better. That looks like it might just compile. And it does. Okay. Okay. So the question is, how can I... by the way, does for each, is that implemented on a iterator? It is. So I don't really need the for each method if I just have an iterator. So I kind of want to get rid of the other thing. And then I can go up here to the macro implementation and hopefully use this pattern. Come on, you can do it. Yes. I love it. Macros plus AI's crazy ability to infer is a really crazy superpower combination. Oh, hello, Yash. Sorry, I was in the midst of that business, so my chat was obscured. But welcome back. It's good to have you. What have I been up to? Well, let me make this compile, and then I will show you. And I don't really have to make it compile. Just the AI has to make it compile. Come on, AI. Uh-huh. I mean, I think this already is an iterator. Right? Can I just do... iter? Huh, not quite. Huh. Why is that sad? Fix it. No. I don't understand. Why is this one sad? Cannot resolve opaque type. Recursive opaque type. A loop may express intentionality better. All right. Well, if that works, I'll take it for now, even though I hate it. Can I just do like self.iter? Oh no, because I am. Into iter. Oh dear. Never mind. I see why I wasn't doing this before. Craziness. I need to, this is something I definitely need to understand more. Don't know why this is so painful. I'm sure, yeah, I feel like the double star, I don't know if there's a way out of this hole. So maybe I shouldn't do what I was just gonna do. Please make this work. Yeah. All right, one last try AI, and then I'm going to give up. Yeah, I already know this doesn't work. And what does it say? The method as ref exists for reference, but its trait bounds were not satisfied. View as ref. So what do I have? I have an arc of a dyne of a view, so maybe I can't get this out of here. I don't know. Can I just, I guess I have to, impl iterator item, yeah, it yields, so it needs to yield a borrowed value, but I can't, why can't I just do view? I don't know. That makes this break again. Cannot resolve recursive opaque type. Recursive opaque type. Oh, because it's calling itself. Is iter a method on... Maybe I've chosen the bad name. Make iterator. I'll just do something that probably is not standard Rust. Make iterator. And then that's probably what I've done. Oh, thank God. Okay. It's because I clobbered the namespace. And then maybe I can undo this awfulness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was doing evil things. Oh. I wonder if there's another way of solving this problem. But anyway, I'm down to 0 bugs, so I can run the... I'm not sure if you're still here, but I will... I'll run the example app. So I have full screen apps now, and I can do some other things to do. Where's the to-do application? I'm currently breaking this on purpose, but I have the ability to have a growing frame. And I lost the comma there. So yay, this can fill the screen, and we can also align things differently. So I can have, this will look really stupid. And also that text is crazy. I do not know why that's happening. But I could have the app in the middle as well. Hello. Finish project. So yeah, it's center aligning itself. So that's great. So we have these composable different structures, but I'm trying to fix the stack view to take into account that flexibility. Oh yeah, it's a totally real thing, Leslie. it looks, and it's fast. I think there's no flickering. So no, I think it'll be a good UI library actually. Having looked at the other ones, um, I've also made a little helper, so everything's a little easier to use. Uh, all you have to do is implement this async terminal app trait, which has a bunch of optional things in case it calls. So basically, um, called when the terminal app is first initialized. So you can either modify yourself or run some asynchronous uh, process and send something back to this message queue, which will be sent back when it's done into your update method. And then, yes, called when the terminal app is exited. So these are both optional. Oh yeah, actually, I already did open source it. It's at my. I think I have a link in the description. Actually, I'm not sure if it's in this video or the last one. Let me know if it should be in the description. Otherwise, it's at kitlangton/terminus. So take a look. It'll probably change a lot, and it will not have API stability for a while. But yeah, look at the code and explore it. Screw around. But yeah, with the render and update method, you're pretty much good to go. And then all you have to do is call execute, and it'll start it for you. Yeah, exactly. And you can toggle between whether or not, oh, this is the other thing, whether or not you want full screen mode. Even though now that I've made the thing take up all available space, it will take up the whole screen. So, oh my God, I was trying to think of a name and I ended up with the boring one. Altruist. Oh, perfect. I might switch it if it's not too late. And it almost looks like SpongeBob case, which is another method I removed from this library actually, but I should really reinstate SpongeBob case and change this to altruist. I was trying to cook up a good pun name, but the state space has been well explored by the thousands of terminal UI libraries. README. I don't know how to do how do I do crossing out? Cross it out. Altruist. I love the chaos of that. Alternative, but maybe I could also make the R and the S a different color because it's for Rust. So this could be like, it's Rust, and you often have like the RS in there. Alternative Rust terminal library. It could also be altruism, but because it has Rust. Oh my God. Maybe you said that, but yes, because there's Rust there. So yeah, I'll have to have like 8 different color schemes, and they're all overlapping. And we'll really have to show the people who look at this. Wow, this is deep. Alternative Rust terminal user interface. Holy shit! Wow. Okay. There'll need to be some documentation on the name. I'm open to pull requests. Need some kind of graph. Maybe I can have generate an image showing how the word altruist, includes the letters TUI for terminal user interface and Rust for Rust. Okay, we'll see if that makes a diagram that is sensible in the background. Well, not with your help, I can name anything. That was an amazing feat. Just so many layers, my God. 2 layers. There's that Hannibal Buress joke about making fun of people who say so many layers. Like, how many layers really, though? So many layers. Like maybe 2 layers? But that's still more layers than usual. Many things just have 1 layer. Okay, here we go. That seems like a logo to me as well. Uh, Logo. I'll throw that in the readme. That is, it's kind of beautiful in a way. This is meaningless. Try some. God, that's so beautiful. Very satisfying. I want to make this. This is my new uh, mood board. Oh, I use this thing. It's a really neat little tool. It's called Raycast, and it's not. I'm only sharing this one window, so nothing. You don't see anything else. I'm afraid to share my entire monitor. My monitor is also too big to like stream correctly, so you can't actually see the other things that are happening. But it's just like a little chat. I mean, ChatGPT just came out for Mac too. I basically use it as ChatGPT, except there's a keyboard shortcut that opens it up, and it can do generation with Dolly as well. Yeah, the other ones are not nearly as good. This one's the best. So, oh yeah, of course, I'll make the logo. Yeah, we have to self-host the logo. Very important. If you make a compiler, you implement the compiler, and if you make a terminal UI library, your logo should be terminal UI generated. So, not that I do want to solve this problem, but I don't want to give up either, and we're so close. I think. Because now I have an iterator, right? Everything's compiling. Make iterator. Make iterator. Enumerate. Now I don't need this index because I get both the index and the child. And then I can get the, I can just get it all. So I can get I can get the child, and I can get the upper and lower bound difference. So now I have, then I can turn this into a vector. Do I care about this? Yes, I want to sort this actually, so I think I need to say collect or vec. Is there a way to collect? Collect it into a vec, please. So now I have a vector of, oh, sorry, what am I doing? I'm doing Scala. Ooh, camel case, shameful. So the difference between the upper and lower bounds, rather, upper minus lower bounds, that's how flexible it is. So certain views have more wiggle room, and the more wiggle room there is, the more we will, we'll basically offer them in terms of least flexibility to most flexibility. Yeah, it's probably going to keep going down the stack, I think, with side projects. I really want to learn about, I was reading this book on WASM, which is the new hot thing as well. But it's nice because I would like to write some kind of compiler thing that actually generates some kind of machine code. And WASM seems like a nice target, like a new version of machine code instead of sort of x86 with all of its cruft and even ARM with all of its giantness. Like WASM seems to be maybe a friendlier output. I don't know. And there's LLVM too. I don't know. But that would be fun. Yes, underscore is a placeholder, and that gets inferred, basically. So you can use underscore anywhere. I can't use it here because then it needs to know collect is generic and needs to know what the target is, but it can know the item because the item is going to be what is returned by map always, because that's determined by the iterator you're calling it on. But the B it doesn't know, so the container type. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Do I still use my snippets app? Alas, I've never used my snippets app. I never finished even recording that tutorial, unfortunately, because, but that, wow. Thanks for the callback. I'm glad somebody watched that. That was a fun video with my weird little rotating musical interlude or introduction. Uh, no, I basically used one of the alternatives that I mentioned at the top of that video. I forget. Typinator, text mate. I forget what I used. Text expander. Maybe that was the one. Now I don't really actually use any snippets, except I'm snippetless. I just type things, which is pretty shameful. And I use a lot of AI. So, okay. Whew. We got some flexible views here. Yeah, AI is the snippets. All of the snippets you'll ever need. Is there sort? Sort by. Okay. Sort by the. Where'd it go? Where'd my code go? Help! Oh, it's in there. Okay. Sort by the upper minus lower. Do. Can I not do sort by that? Good. Okay, I can. Or no, that eats it. It eats it. Okay, so that was eaten up. Use with flex. There we go. Maybe there's a way to do sorting that returns. Nope, these all look like they mutate, which is fine. That's probably faster. Yeah, no, I probably could have turned it into a thing. I probably should have. I do have one weakness, which is I have a short attention span, and I like to move. I get very obsessed for very short periods of time in succession, and so it's not the greatest for building giant projects, but a lot of experiments. I was pretty excited about my little flashcard app. I'll show that off sometime. I'm thinking of open sourcing that actually. AI powered flashcard app. You could select any text anywhere on the screen. It pops into a little window. I should open source that because I'm probably never going to turn it into a product. It's way cooler than the snippets app. I think this Raycast thing has snippets. Yeah, we love the shiny objects and love making terminal UIs. So now I have all of my views sorted in some order. I'm not really sure what the order is, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's going to be the ones where this number is smaller up front, but we'll see. I'll have to test it out. And then what I need to do here, and this is why I have this sizes array, you see, is I need to go through this views with flex and turn it into another iterator, I guess, for each. Indeed, I have the index. I don't need to do exactly this, but okay. So I'm going to First, I'm going to get the total number of views. So I do need the self.children.length. So we're going to have that. And then I'm going to have the remaining width, which will be the proposed width. And then what am I doing? I guess I could enumerate this as well. I'm not sure if I want to do that. That might make it a little crazy looking. So I have the index in the initial. This is sort of its initial position. That's the order. Render index. And then I. Okay, cool. Sweet. And instead of just proposing it the whole size, which we can't do, we need to propose it some amount of the remaining, but I'm going to propose it a proportion of the remaining. So the width is going to be the remaining width divided by the total number of elements minus this index. And this is all wrong because of the different types, I think. So please make it work. Okay. And I hope this does add up correctly, because these are not doubles. And then I'm going to, yes, propose it, the remaining width. So the way this should work is, we have a bunch of views, and there are different levels of flexibility. And the most flexible ones, i.e. the ones that can take up the entire... am I screwing something up here? Oh, it does not need to be mutable. That's fine. I'm going to modify that in a moment. So yes, so the like if we're going vertically here, right? So there's the things that don't need to take up that amount of room, which is those commands at the bottom, like N for new, Q for quit. So this whole row, we actually want to offer this room first because it is a fixed size. It's not going to eat up the rest of the room, unlike that to-do list above. I made it such that it's going to fill all vertical and horizontal space in every direction. So we want to render this last. So we're sort of tracking their rendering order by iterating through once and tracking its initial index. And then sorting after that so we can figure out which one's basically, hopefully, so we're sorting these from least flexible to most flexible so that we offer this one first, the remaining width divided by the number of elements that are in the list. So we're going to give it one proportion of the remaining width. So, and then it might not take all of that room. In fact, this one's just going to take one row. So it's trying to be fair and split it. I'm sure there's different modes for this algorithm. I'm not sure if it's perfectly perfect in all situations, but it probably is not. And then after this, I'm going to say remaining width. We're going to remove the amount that was claimed by the child, and wow, then we return the sizes at the end. And then I need to do the same thing for vertical. Implement layouts vertical. And please do it identically, except in the other direction. Okay. Whew. Is this all good? Am I changing my... Okay, yeah, the screen size looks all right. So, wow, it's just like, looks like total noise to me right now. But hopefully this will work and we can do something reasonable. And this should simplify. I should be able to reuse this logic across both of these things. Across both size and render. So for this, I should be able to just get rid of all this silliness. And that. And let sizes. Oh, what did it do? Not really sure what it did. So first we're going to get all the sizes. And then the width is going to be equal to... I didn't take in... Did I take in spacing into account? I do not think I took spacing into account. Saturating sub. I need to remove every time we lay something out. The remaining size should also be have the spacing removed. Hope this makes sense. Hope this works. I could be breaking everything. So the width is going to be the sum of the widths So sizes dot iter dot map. I wish this were easier. Width dot sum. Plus self dot spacing times the I guess sizes dot length minus 1, because that'll be the amount of the length of the sizes is also the length of the or the number of items. And then the height is going to be the max, which looks like that is correct. And this looks wrong as U16. And this seems to be sad for some reason I do not understand. Consider giving width an explicit type. U16. Is it not? Okay, hey. So super verbose, max returns an option. Okay, which makes sense. Oof, that's crazy. What a crazy thing. And this is going to be very similar, except laying out vertically, and the width is going to be the max, and the height is going to be the sum of the sizes. Oh shoot, do I have any tests for this? I think I do. Maybe do I have an integration test thing? No. I'm pretty sure I have tests for this somewhere. Oh, sum. Wow, why is that sad? I don't have sum. Fix it. Oh, I need to do the colon. The colon thing is confusing to me. That's going to take a lot of practice coming from Scala. Okay, so now I have what should be the accurate sizes. So I get all the sizes and do all that stuff. Yay. Pretty crazy. And then rendering should also theoretically become much simpler. So I'm going to get rid of all this. And what we need to do here is first get the sizes. And then we need to go and take our views. So self.children.makeIterator. We're going to zip this with the sizes. So we'll have each child with each size. And we're also going to have our sort of x offset start out at 0. And then we're going to say basically the child can render. And yeah, we do want to add this the size. Yeah. So we're going to offer the context. I think I made a helper method for this. So I'm going to say offsets x and 0. So theoretically that'll work. Man, and if this does work, that would be cool. Something bad happened, I think. Something very bad happened. What bad thing happened? I don't know. Oh, everything's so tiny, I think. I don't even think it's rendering. I think that might be the problem. So let me create some tests for vertical stack sizing. Whoa. Whoa. So I don't want mock child, even though I appreciate it going that direction. I'm happy with just some. I can make a VStack of hello world. Cool. This needs to be wrapped in a thing. Yeah, no, AI is just good at pumping out the tests. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing. Size max. Oh, but now that I've learned about const, I should definitely do const max and not size max, but I've probably done that in too many places. I will eventually remove that. I've learned a Rust thing. Const. So what should the size be? Well, if the it should just be 3 basically. The height should be 3 and the size should be 5, which is the longest element. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, just to make it easier to understand the maximum width. And then let's see if it broke. Oh, and then all these other things, which I don't really care about. I don't care about these tests. It went crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's a compile time constant, as far as I understand. One also thing, yep, I like about Rust is that there's doc strings for like keywords that you get. And that's just a Rust analyzer, I suppose, but it's sort of this built-in tutorial. Really cool. And there's also, yeah, compile time evaluatable functions. You could say const fun. And I think there's some limitations on what you could do there, but it's pretty cool. It's not quite like Zig's compile comp time thing. Yeah, Scala kind of has it. It has an inline keyword. It's just going to inline the function call though, so not exactly. It's not a compile time constant. In certain scenarios, it will be, but it's definitely pretty fancy. So last thing I need to do here is I really want to fix this thing. So what should it be if let me copy this. So yeah, it works if there's. In fact, that does seem to work. Let's test vertical stack rendering. And I'm going to go back to my border example where I have these little helpers. Test rendering in this style. Come on, do it. Okay, something bad happened. I've doomed. I've done terrible things. Yeah, I don't know what I've done. Something in here is wrong, clearly. And yeah, I'll try to solve this a few more moments. It's failing to render this entirely. So I mean, the sizing is good. It's just the rendering. So let me see what's happening. And the other day, someone recommended that I use debugging instead of just banging my head against the wall. And I think that's a great idea. So I'm going to throw a thing into here, a breakpoint, and debug this test. And now that's great. Yay. I feel a little claustrophobic here because of my text size being so large. I'm going to bump it down one. I hope that's still visible. Let me know if it's not. And I'm going to jump to the next. Okay, I don't know what I just did. Oh, it seems like maybe it panicked there or something. Let's try that debug again. Re-debug, please. Does it ever make it to this next line? No, it explodes. Okay, cool. So yeah, something explodes inside of layout vertical. So let's see where that explodes. So yeah, continue from here. So I have, what do I have? All right, take care, Yash. Yeah, I'm going to end soon. Anyhow, I'm pretty tired. And I've created many problems for myself. So let me just do a couple more jumps over this. So where does it break? So I'm curious where it explodes. So it gets the views. And yeah, they're not sorted here because they all have the same amount of flexibility. So somewhere in here I'm screwing up. And, oh, actually already I'm calculating this. So I should probably move this here and just say, well, I'll just say total, fine. But I don't need to calculate that twice. And what would be exploding? Oh, total minus I. No, because that should always be less than the total. It shouldn't explode. Oh yeah, that sounds quite crazy but fun. Okay, where's this exploding? I'm going through view one, closing these. Give me more things. So I is 0. Do I get hovering? I do get hovering. Oh, super cool. I think I do. Flex is a U16. I don't know what that's about. Height 1, size 5, 1. Cool. So that didn't break. Render index is 0. What? All right, so I'm clearly doing something wrong. Do I need this star there? What is render index? It's a... But sizes, I thought I've made a capacity. This panics when accessing the sizes with the render index. Why? I know it's not initial. Oh. Okay. I believe you. Let's see if that's true. I thought because I had the capacity there it would be fine, but I guess size dot 0. Let's just start it with 0 size. And same with that. And hopefully that fixes the tests. No, it still fails, but we actually get rendering. And in fact, that might even be correct. So I'm going to try to render the to-do application again and just hope that that isn't, it's just working. Hopefully it just works. It freaking works. It works. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I just was doing Rust wrong. I didn't screw up my algorithm. Yay. Yes, there is a crate for compiler parser combinators. I was thinking about doing that, though, as a project. Implementing them in both Scala and Rust to compare. And which one did you see? Because there's nom, but that isn't really parser combinators because you're supposed. Basically, it forces you to do the flat mapping manually yourself. You're supposed to implement each parser combinator as a function from state to your tuple of like the remaining result of the remaining string and the value that you parsed out or something. There's one called Combine as well, which seems to be more in line with what I think. But yeah, I'm not sure what like the fastest one is, but it would be fun to build one and try to figure out how to make it fast and work with streaming and all that stuff. I think that's been an explored space, but I don't know. Parser combinators and terminal UIs are my two, those are my go-to practice problems. I should probably pick a new practice problem that I'm less familiar with to stretch my brain. Now that I'm kind of getting acquainted with Rust. But yes, this is delicious. I'm sure there's other issues, but I'm pretty psyched that that's rendering correctly. I might end it here because I'm a little sleepy, and I've been going for 2 hours. So yay, that was very fun. See ya. Thanks for joining. Thanks for stopping by, Rob. Oh, and Jasmine stopped by again. There's a whole gang. LB, Yash, Jasmine. Sweet. Well, yeah, take care, everybody. And I'll see you around. Have a great night. Thanks, Rob. Good night, Pound. Thanks for the brilliant name idea. I will push these changes to altruist. Bye, everyone.